everybody. So I got a request for wood graining tool usage. So first let's see what it looks like. That's it. See, it's got sort of ridges, and it's got kind of a rake and then a bigger rake on the other end. This is made out of rubber. I got mine up on Amazon. It's like $7. It also came with a little guy. Not near as useful, but again, same idea. Sort of a hard rubber, and the idea is that you pull it along and slowly tilt as you're pulling, and that will give this kind of result. So first time I used this thing, I made sort of a palette of what one could do. So I tried a dark background, excuse my dog, with a tan overcoat, tan background with the darker overcoat, so this is the exact opposite of this. Then I tried the same thing with darker, so that's near black with brown, and that is brown with a near black. I get most of my paints at Lowe's or Home Depot, the good old Oops paints, so look for that. They're nice and cheap. Anyway, so you paint your background color, and then you use the tool, and literally you kind of go along like this, and the ridging causes these extra little ridges here. I could show you doing it, but really the result you're going to get is this. Now the neat thing is, while your upper surface is still wet and you don't like the grain pattern you got, you can just go over it again and change it up. So just play with it. Definitely my suggestion is kind of do exactly what I did here. Get a couple different paints, a couple different colors, you know, think about some wood, like, okay, there's wood. All right, well, what color is it? Well, that's brown and sort of a dark brown. Right, okay, I want to simulate that. Well, that's not too terribly far off from that. It's not perfect, but it's not too far off. I ended up using this as my color, again here. Why did I use that? Because I wanted a sort of like an English study kind of wood color, so that's what I use that for. I also use my Dremel with a router bit, and I pre-cut these trenches, which allowed me to have a guide for my tool, and I cut the boards basically to the width of my tool. Made that fairly easy. And again, just, you know, go over it until you get a pattern that you like. You just have to remember to turn it as you're doing. You can turn it backwards, turn it forwards, flip over the tool. That way you get the different styles and patterns. Definitely get, if you have a Dremel, get the little routing tools. Again, you can get those at Lowe's, Home Depot. Very, very useful for all sorts of things. Great for carving tombstones. Great for this kind of stuff. If you use the pink foam or the blue/green foam, definitely worth the investment of whatever, $4 for the bits. That is how I do tombstones now. That way I can very simply put a pattern on the tombstone, either freehanding it or whatever, and then use the Dremel to cut all the letters out. Works good. Also, I use those little wooden letters you can get at like Michael's or AC Moore. Go to their little wood section, and they'll have like Greek paddles for like fraternities, and they have all these little letters. Those make great stencils, so you can stencil out lettering. I don't know why I was pointing there, like that helps. But you can stencil out all your letters in a Sharpie and then go over with the Dremel tool. Nice and quick. You don't have to fool with carbon paper, printing out stuff. Screw all that. Go with the stencil letters, Dremel tool, Nice and quick. No fuss, no muss. I'll show you something I did with that. Hold on. So here I'm outside in my little teeny backyard. This is not where we do our hunt. No, it wouldn't work. But anyway, so this is using the Dremel tool on a tombstone-esque thing. And this is actually the rock that Ash from Army of Darkness grabs the Necronomicon. And you can see, using the Dremel tool, I was able to get that nice flat cuts in there and do all these little cuts. They're just gouged in nicely, filled in with black. I use an airbrush to quickly sort of spray into the recesses and then paint it over gray. Real simple. Doesn't require much effort. Nice and quick. It just produces an awful lot of sort of bluish green foam fluff. So that's why I do it outside. Peace out. Keep hunting.